Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to introduce a mated queen that I purchased to the hopelessly queenless hive. I've given them two opportunities with larvae to create their own queen cell, and they haven't been able to do it, so I bit the bullet, found a local beekeeper. Well, I say local, it was an hour and a half away. Picked him a queen last night, and I'm going to see how the girls take to an introduction right now. So I'm going to set up and we'll introduce her. So hey guys, in the interest of time, I've already taken down the hive, and the queen arrives in this. When you put it in, you want to be mesh up. And this is the fondant side. The fondant side needs to be angled down, and just it needs to be near where the brood is, and you just gently push it into the wax and then push the other frame up against it, and over a period of time they will chew through the fondant and release her. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put her on top of the frames and see how they react to her. I'm hoping that they react extremely positively, because they are hopelessly queenless. But let's see how they do. Turned on or not. So let's see how they do. There's obviously an immediate interest, and if one of two things will happen. They will either ball her, the term ball her, which means try and completely surround her and kill her by literally cooking her, or they will try and feed her. And also, if they're pleased about the situation, other bees will start fanning and spreading her pheromone. So we'll give them a couple of minutes and see how they do. Like I say, they are hopelessly queenless, so I'm sure they will take to her immediately. But who knows with bees, you know? And there doesn't seem to be much interest quite yet. I'm heavily feeding them on the other side of the property, and of course they're extremely busy with that. And there are a couple of attendants in there with her, but not much interest so far. Another thing I was told was, if she goes to the bottom of the cage, she's trying to get away from them. If she comes up to the top of the cage, then she's looking for acceptance. They also, sometimes they will be docile initially and very submissive towards the bees. Right now, she just looks like she's wanting to get out, and she's certainly coming up to the top of the cage, but there's not much interest in her. I'm very surprised. In the research that I've done, as soon as they smell the pheromone, they are really curious as to what is that. So this is interesting. It's the first time I've done it. As you all know, I'm the first time beekeeper. second season. This is the first time I've introduced a queen, and so far it's pretty boring. Uneventful, as they say. Just want to thank the subscribers while I've got a minute. We've got some new subscribers that are beekeepers, giving me some great information. Oh, and I want to give Jackie a shout out. One of our subscribers, Jackie, is a Game of Thrones fan, and Sean Bean, one of the actors, was actually born in the same place as I was in England, and she made a request that I speak a line from the series Game of Thrones that was very famously said by Sean Bean. Whether I can pull off a Sean Bean accent or not, I don't know, but I'll give it a try. Winter is coming. Just for you, that, Jackie. Thank you for your subscription and your advice. Okay, they are doing nothing. Just 2 or 3 coming up to take a look. I don't know whether this is a good sign or a bad sign. They're certainly not attacking. So what they say is if their arses are up, they're happy. If their arses are down, they're trying to sting her. And I can't tell right now because I've got terrible eyesight. Not much interest. On the research that I've done, there's like an immediate interest. Well, there's a few more coming now. What I want to see is fanning, so they spread that pheromone. Another thing is when there's a certain amount of bees on the cage, you're supposed to be able to run your fingers through the bees and they'll move because their stingers aren't down and trying to get through that mesh. If you gently push the bees away and they don't go away, it means that their arses are down and they're trying to sting. I see fanning right here. See this little bee here? She started to fan. To say they have been queenless for some time now, they don't seem super interested in her. Interesting. Learning every day, guys. Learning every day. But I did tell these ladies that I wouldn't abandon them. I would do everything in my power to get them strong and ready for winter. And purchasing the queen is just part of that. We've got to be good stewards to them, or you might as well not be a beekeeper. You've got to treat them like small animals. They're not just a commodity. They're not just something to make you feel good, or these are living beings, you know. I'd hate to think that they died and as a direct reaction of mine, you know. little bit more interest in her now. And she doesn't seem to be avoiding them. I'm just intrigued with the lack of interest. We'll give them a minute or two more, and then I'll put her into the frame. And it's important that you put her in the frame where the brood is, so that the cluster keeps her warm at night. So I've got brood both sides of this, so I've got brood both sides of this, so I'm going to put her on this side in between these two frames. Now, because these cages are slightly wider than the plastic ones, I'm going to have to leave a frame out. So what I'll do, once I've got her in and I'm happy she's okay and secure, I'll shake the bees off this end frame and just store that for a couple of days, so that's nice and secure, because with it being that wide you can't get that last frame in. There's a little more interest now. Oh yeah, they're definitely interested now. Now I don't know whether it's my ears or not, but there's a term called piping, and the queen will make a noise and they refer to it as piping. I don't know whether it's her that's piping or just the vibrations of the bees. But there is definitely interest in her now. Everybody must have been on a break, 15-minute break, so, because they're very interested now. So, as they say, if you can run your finger across the bees gently and they move, they're not trying to sting her, and as you saw then, they moved. So I think they're going to accept her. She's actually, the beekeeper I got her from, he's crossing Corleone Italian and the Buckfast bees, and he says that they're a really gentle strain of bees. So I mean, the bees that I have, they're not aggressive by any means, they're quite gentle, I believe, but he says that these are slightly more gentle. We'll see. I think their faces are in, not their arses, so they're trying to feed her. So I think we're safe to put her in. So like I said, this frame is the brood, so I'm going to put her on this side, and this is the fondant side, so that's slightly down, and the mesh pointing upwards. So let's get her in there, ladies, and let me make a little bit of room. Let's get her in there and make sure she's below the frame. I'm pointing slightly down, you see that, and then we want that frame all the way pushed up against her. I don't want to, I'm just keeping a hold. I do not want her to fall and potentially damage her. I think we are good. So double check that it's pointing slightly down. It's in with the brood, and I'm pleased and I'm happy and believe that yes, they have accepted her, and we'll leave her about 4 days. It's like a maximum of 4 days to chew through the fondant, and we'll come back.
About 4 days. It's like a maximum of 4 days to chew through the fondant, and we'll come back. They are still pleased, and I'm hoping that they will be.
And make sure that they are still pleased, and I'm hoping that they will be. Like I say, they're going to go from hopelessly queenless to OMG, we've got a queen. So that's all I've got for you today, guys. This was an installation of a mated queen. They seem to have taken to her quite well. They're quite happy. There's no aggression. There's no trying to ball around her and kill her. So I'm going to shut all this back up, and I will see you on the next video, which was going to be treating for varroa mites organically. I found an organic, non-chemical way of treating for varroa, and it's a two-man job, so Julie will be with me on that one. We'll probably shoot that video tomorrow. In the meantime, guys, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all the comments. As always, it means a lot to me. All the education I'm getting from you guys is awesome. Hit the notification button so you know that when we put another video. Best way you can help us on our journey of off-grid and beekeeping is to subscribe and learn from my mistakes, our mistakes, and potentially give us advice on how to go forward after them. Well, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I will see you on the next video.